Hello everyone and welcome to another Dominaria United traditional draft. This time the rare is playable but nothing amazing. It's mostly a 2-mana 2/2. Sometimes you have some clerics you might be able to pump, and very rarely you're actually gonna sack a cleric to get a creature, so not the first pick. This pack has two good commons: Extinguish the Light and Lightning Strike. There's also a pretty decent uncommon in Lagomos, but this is two colors. And in this format, removal is quite important. It's just that I'm not sure if the 4-mana removal is better first pick as a 2-mana removal. You can of course have a lot more 2-mana cards in your deck than 4-mana cards. This deals with anything, but this can get you some nice tempo, plus has the additional value of being able to finish the opponent. Being able to finish the opponent with the damage done to the player. So I think I'm gonna take the cheaper one now, but it could be either of those. Alright, so here it's not going to be a red card, only two options, and they are of course not very good here. There is a Radha Coalition Warlord. Yeah, without any extra domain, this will give you +2/+2. If you get to enlist this thing, it's pretty good, and you can have some, sort of half of color domain lands to give a bigger boost, and it's early in the draft, so I can kind of plan around that. And it's also possible to be like base red-green domain deck, maybe get the Sojourner back when the card comes at pick number, when the pack comes back at pick number 10. Right, there's a tribute to Ubok too. I don't think it's gonna be the pick. I take the Radha here and see where the draft takes me. Alright, so not really anything green, only the Stalker here. Yeah, there's a Fires of Victory, and there's the Tori Devenant Fury Rider. It's going to be one of those. There is also a Keldon Strike team, which is also sort of a white-red card, but I think I would take the uncommon first. Fires of Victory can be quite nice. But I haven't actually played a white-red deck in a while, and if the archetype is open, this could come back, but I don't think at pick 11 it's maybe wishful thinking. There's another tribute to Ubok, but I think I'm gonna pass that. Let's take this for now. I could be red-green, red-white. Let's see what's more open here. Well, not much open in here, other than actually domain. As you can see, the rare has been taken, two uncommons have been taken. Okay, this pack has 3 domain lands, they are all here. So I don't like the Mesa Cavalier enough to, pick it just because I have the red and white card in here. So I think I'd rather try to maybe make the Coalition Warlord work. Now there is also Gaia's Might if I really go for the domain, but I feel like it's gonna be one of the green producing lands. I'm not sure if I want to have the black kicker or the blue kicker. I guess I take the Haunted Mire, just in case I get something like an Ubok repossession. But I'm gonna take this for now, mostly because of the Radha here. And then there is an Ella's Ilkor. There's also a Captain's Call, which would work with the Tori Dominant pretty well, nice actually, because this can pump all your, this will pump all your creatures. Very nice with the tokens. I have passed some black cards. The Elas is really decent 2-drop, but I don't think I'm gonna move to black right now. I don't see a lot of green, so I maybe have to abandon the Radha plan. I'm not sure if red-white is going to be that open, but this is a fairly weak pack. I mean, not counting the Elas. So I'm going to take the Captain's Call, which I do like with the Tori Dominant thing here. And there's a Keldon Strike team, so I guess that's going to give a good direction to the draft now. I could be red-white. There's also a Warhorse and Riding Necromancer here, both really decent in white and black. I think I would take the Necromancer if I took the Elas from the previous pack, but since I didn't, I'm gonna pass these black cards. There's a Gaia's Might again, but I will take this. It's really decent in red-white, and also very decent with the this uncommon here. Imagine I play this on turn 4 if it survives, and I get to untap with it. I can play a strike team and have a hasty 4/2 and 2 2/2s thanks to this. triggered ability in here. So for now, I think I will cut the Radar and the Haunted Mire and hope that I can get a red-white deck with the picks I currently have. Well, now that's interesting. Not really much in terms of red-white. I don't think white is open, sadly. So there are still some options in here. The strength of the coalition is pretty good with the captain's call and the strike team. But the problem is red-white open at all? I mean, this is the best card in the pack. There's the Root Wallet, there's a Writing Necromancer. There are actually some good cards even in land. I think I'll take the strength of the coalition and see if I'm going to make a... Maybe, I mean, who knows, maybe I will be red-white splash green. I don't know about the splash yet, but I mean, it was a tough one because it didn't. The previous pack didn't really support red and white that well. But I'm gonna take the Phalanx here. That's of course gonna be the pick. Very nice one. All right, so, that's interesting because I could take the Wooded Ridgeline to support the potential splash, but I'm not sure if I even care about it that much. I could take like a Joint Forces. It's not the most amazing card, but it's okay. It's early in the draft. I might get enough green here, but this is okay. I'm gonna take the Joint Forces. I'm not sure if that is smart, but I guess it's too late now. Because I really don't necessarily want to splash this because this requires a green source. It would be a different thing if this was a white card with green kicker. Yeah, then I could maybe play this card, but maybe not because I would need like at least 3 green sources, ideally more than that. Alright, I'm gonna take the Vanguard here. It's not amazing, but it is. I mean, if it's gonna be good, it's gonna be good in the deck that has, you know, these token makers here. Alright, there's nothing interesting in here. I guess I'll just take the white card, even though I have no plans on playing this card or sideboarding it in. And there's still the Gas Might, so I maybe could have done some kind of domain deck with the Gas Might. Would be pretty sweet. Well, I'm not playing the Hammerhand. I don't really like the card, so I'm gonna take the domain card, even though I don't plan on playing it. But maybe this rare will change things. Okay, so let's see. I have only 2 of these mythic rares. It is a playable card. Now, let's see. Can I play? I mean, I would have to abandon the white basically if I'm gonna take something like a red-green card in here. There's also the Javimaya Steel Crusher, which I wouldn't mind necessarily. But then again, I have so many tokens here that maybe it is actually could work, because normally if you get to play this early, then you will, you know, get the creatures to die and then you make this into a flyer at some point. But in this deck I might be able to do it if I top deck this later. I have these tokens and all that, so I'm actually gonna take it, partly because it can work in this deck, and another reason is that this, you know, makes my mythic completion faster. So, but I think it's a legit card in the deck, and I do plan to include in the deck here because I have already the Captain's Call and the Strike Team. Maybe I can find something else. Now, isn't that a mythic rare I'm gonna play in the deck? Okay, so the person to my left isn't a mythic rare drafter and isn't in white either. So this is of course amazing. I may play a land or a permanent spell with at most 3 mana value. Yeah, well, this is just amazing. Bum mythic rare. I'm obviously taking that no matter what else there is. Maybe the Infusion would be my next pick, but I mean, obviously this is gonna be the best pick always when you are red-white. Okay, so there's Heroic Charge, there's another of these Fury Riders, there's also a Keldon Strike Team. So, that's actually rather interesting, because I think there's a bigger chance for this thing to come back to me at pick number 11. That's of course assuming no one else is exactly red and white. So if someone is, they will probably pick this. I guess there's still the Heroic Charge possibility, but given the cards I have here now, I actually like the Strike Team slightly more. So I think I'll take it. Argivian Cavalier is going to be the pick. Now there's a Griffin Protector, which I wouldn't mind. I need some 2-drops here. I have basically 1 removal spell and then the Weatherlight completed as 2 mana plays, but I guess the Herbalist isn't that amazing, although with some Enlist cards it will be a lot better. Monstrosity, is fine, but I take the Cavalier, it's a really good one. Alright, so Heroic Charge, Mesa Cavalier, Sky Knight, The amplifier isn't going to be the pick here. You really want to be able to kick it to make it a worthy pick here. Okay, so these are kind of 5 drops. Also, they can be 3 drops, but anyhow, I'm just figuring out if I want to. Yeah, I have already these 4 drops. I guess I will take the Mesa Cavalier. Now, I do like the Heroic Charge, though. I mean, maybe I'll take it. I mean, I have some ways to make tokens, a lot of ways, in fact, so I just think I might still get more Heroic Charges later on, and then I don't want to like have too many of them. Alright, well, this is a tough pack, because I definitely want to have the Strike Team, but there is a Flowstone Infusion, which is really cheap interaction, which I could need here, but I guess I'm just gonna go all in with the Strike Teams here. Let's make sure that whenever I draw this, I will have tokens that I can jump block with and make this into a 5/5 flyer. Yeah, I'll take this Strike Team. And there's a Heroic Charge. Yeah, I actually need 2 drops. I mean, any 2 drops start to be okay. I don't take the Branch Rider. I don't care about the Furious Bellow. I like the Heroic Charge more in this deck, but I do need early plays now. Come on, don't fail me. Thrill of Possibility won't be the kind of 2-mana play I need. It doesn't affect the board. Let's take the Flyer. Who knows, maybe I want to sideboard it in. Okay, now this is good. I get to choose between these 2, but I do like the Steel Crusher slightly more than the 1/3, so let's take it. Okay, so pack 3 needs to give me some 2-mana plays. Other than that, I'm happy where I am. Okay, that's a 2-mana 3/1. I don't care if I can't kick it. It's something I can play on turn 2. Okay, there is the Heroic Charge. This was the pack that had another of these. Now there is a 2-mana 1/3, but I think I'll just take the 3rd charge, and probably that means I won't be playing the Joint Forces. It's kind of irrelevant now when I have 3 of these better pump effects here. Okay, getting the Herbalist is really good. Now, it's not that amazing of a card, so it's not really a surprise, but I really wanted to have this kind of 2-drop. And I have some Enlist creatures. Maybe I will play this. I'm not sure I have so many 4-drops, but I have still the Steel Crusher has Enlist, Cavalier has Enlist. I guess that's it. But it's still fine. Axe. Alright. Archangel of Wrath. Well, I guess I'll play these angels. This is an angel deck now. Alright, so of course I'll take it. The other option would be... doesn't destroy evil, there's a Griffin Protector, there's a Sacred Peaks, Penalist Fate Ponder, but I mean, this is a 4-mana 3/4 flying lifelink. I can kick the red easily, and now if I get a land that produces black, well, I mean, either the red-black or white-black version, I would absolutely pick it, because that would help me maybe kick this for the 2nd time, and also would help with the Sleeper's Kicker effect, so yep, let's of course take this. I mean, not counting the kickers, 3-mana, sorry, 4-mana 3/4 flying lifelink is of course very good. Now, there is a good removal spell, but I need to have a cheap removal spell now. I also think the Archiving Phalanx would be great, but I need something to play on turn 2. Lightning Strike helps me with that. Okay, and I think, oh, well, oh man, this pack, there are 5 cards I want. I want this land to have some black kicker options. These 2 drops would be good. Steel Crusher being better, the Recruiter being even better than that, but there's also a Lightning Strike. So it's tough because I have some Enlist creatures, I have ways to pump creatures. I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna take the Lightning Strike, and then when this comes back it will be pick number 11. There's a chance something like a Goblin Picker is still in here. But I would really like to have the Recruiter here. But I'm also happy to get a Lightning Strike here. So, because it's both removal and an early drop. I kind of wanted to have both of those effects now. Okay, so pretty easy. I don't need a 4th Heroic Charge. I still want to have some creatures. The Outrider is, could be played, but the Sleeper is gonna be better. I don't want to miss a 2-drop in this kind of deck. And now I start to have So that's 1, 2, 3. That's 4 creatures on 2 mana. 3 spells. That's 7 things I can do turn 2 that affect the board state, and then there's also the Weatherlight completed, which I wouldn't mind having on turn 2, because if you play this on turn 2, it's pretty easy to, you know, get the creature mode on. So you have to have 4 creatures die, so that it yeah, it needs 4 counters. Yeah, when 4 creatures have died while this is on the battlefield, I mean creatures I control, then this will turn into a pretty big flyer. Alright, so take up the shield, Charismatic Vanguard. Do I need the 3-drop here? I basically have only 2 3-drops if I try to usually play these at 5, which won't always be the case. This pump effect is quite good because I have some multiple token generators here. Creature count is 14 plus the captain's call, I guess. I really like to take up the shield though. I think I'm gonna take that rather than the Vanguard. And what do we have here? Another strike team, I guess. No, as good as it is, I do like the Cavalier on turn 3. So on turn 3 I can get a 2-2 and a 1-1. This is only a 3-1 haster on turn 3. Now I have enough of these late game strike teams. 3 is quite a few, so I prefer the Cavalier here. Let's just take it. Now there is also the Goblin Picker, but I think the Cavalier is just so much better that I'd rather take the 3-mana drop. Okay, I can take the Cavalier now. I am, you know, already going to cut some cards, though I'm not sure which one of them will be. It could be the Coalition Sky Knight that I'm cutting, but then again, this is pretty good with the strike team because Enlist does work with haste creatures, even though they just entered the battlefield. So I can play this on turn 4, kick this thing on turn 5, and then enlist the 3 power creature and attack with the 5 power flyer, but not sure. Alright, I don't maybe need any more, you know, this small creature removal, but this is still an early play, which I think I still need. So I'm gonna take the infusion here. And here, as much as I like the Protector, I just don't think I need it. I have so many other 4 mana options. I'll take the Fate Ponder here. So now that's enough 2-drops. Alright, so Heroic Charge. No, the Phalanx is gonna be the pick. I don't know what I'm gonna cut. Of course I need to make multiple cuts in here, but I guess the pack 3 went quite well. I don't have a lot of red cards, but I guess it's 9 and I will play all the red cards. Okay, well, let's take the Heroic Charge on the sideboard. I'm not gonna main deck 4 of them. I might main deck 3. Here I'll just take the Bone Splinters away. It's the most annoying one. Now these are of course not pod drafts, so I'm unlikely to be paired against the person who I'm passing to, but still, why not take the Bone Splinters there? They were all commons. Okay, so I get in a Vanguard. I don't need a second copy of Joint Forces. I'll take the Vanguard in here. And let's see the cuts next. Alright, that is 46 cards. I didn't get any way to get the Black Kicker, but it's fine. So, about the cuts. First question, am I gonna play 16 lands? I think this is a 19 lands deck. I want to support my double white cards with 9 planes, and then I still need to have a red for the double caster red, and then for the fairly early red spells I have in here. So it's gonna be a 9-8 mana base. I didn't get any white-red dual lands. And I'm gonna cut 6 cards. Now with triple lightning strike I will cut the Flowstone Infusion from the main deck. It will be a nice sideboard card against decks that have plenty of targets for it, but there are also still those domain decks roaming in the format. Now a lot of the domain decks have some early drops, like the Root Walla, that can be killed with the infusion. But still, I don't wanna face an opponent that has like whose most problematic creatures have like 4 toughness, and then I'm holding like a lightning strike and a Flowstone Infusion. I don't really want to 2 for 1 myself, so I will start with this on the sideboard. And then how many 2-drops I have as in terms of creatures, I mean. That is 5 2-mana creatures. I don't really want to cut any of them, but I will now cut some of the 3-drops. Even though I consider these as 5-drops ideally, I have still 5 other 3-drops here, and I think in this deck the Mesa Cavalier is the least impressive one. Now it is a question of playing the Sky Knight or not, and I think it is unnecessary. It is the worst of my 4-drops. Captain's Call is also, in this kind of creature slot, but of course it won't move there now thanks to the filter. So I will cut the Sky Knight. It's the weakest option there, and that leaves me still 3 cuts, and don't like to cut cards, and I really want to play the Weatherlight completed, but do I actually have to understand that it might not be the... I mean, it is a 5/5 flyer. So let's see. 2 mana thing that doesn't do anything except that when my creatures die, this gets a counter. And I also get to scry, by the way. It's something you should... I mean, it's always a good idea to read the cards all the way to the end. So you will get the... I mean, once you get like a 7 or more fire resist counters on it, you will draw even cards when creatures you control die. But at that point, this has already been a 5/5 creature with flying, so it's, nice to draw the cards. But the main idea with this is to actually get this to be a creature. But once your creatures start dying, not only this gets a fire resist counter, but you also get to scry 1. And scry 1 is, when you kind of can scry for free, it is significant. So of course, if I get to play this on turn 2, it's gonna be pretty great because I have enough creatures and extra creatures, these token makers and all that I don't have any trouble getting to 4 creatures dying. But the point is, if I draw this late in the game, now I will at that point already have some creatures on the battlefield, hopefully, so I can start jumping with them to make this into a 5/5. But what are the 3 cuts if I am gonna leave all this stuff in? I think I might be willing to cut 1 heroic charge, because I do have also 2 charismatic vanguards, assuming I won't cut them. I have some mass pump effect still available in here. I might actually have to cut the take up the shield, as good as it is, or maybe use it as a sideboard option. And maybe 1 heroic charge. It would be a little bit awkward if I early in the game draw 2 of these. That limits my options, because I don't usually want to use this other than as a finisher, so maybe 2 is the correct count, at least to start with. And now I'm at 24 cards, and I still do think I want to play 17 lands. And I really want to play the completed here, so I'm not going to cut the Weatherlight completed. I think it is gonna be one of the 2 drops, and the weakest is maybe just the vanilla 3/1, because I don't have access to the black mana anyway. Because even though this is fairly low amount of 2 drops, I at least have these lightning strikes, which I can also play on turn 2. That's still 7 plays plus the Weatherlight completed, which, while kind of doesn't affect the board right away, will definitely affect the board at some point if you get to play it on turn 2. So I can still say I have 8 2-drops, so that's plenty to do something on turn 2. Yeah, I like these 3-drops. I mean, of course I like the Cavaliers. I never cutting those, but I could have maybe considered cutting 1 Vanguard. But since I have about 3 of these strike teams, I want to keep the pump effects. So double heroic charge, double Vanguard, and also this Tori Dominant. That's like 5 ways to pump my team. That's seems reasonable. So let's do this. This is the main deck, with some sideboard options: Flowstone Infusion, take up the shield against removal, and when it's a race matchup, this is definitely good because of the lifelink to join forces can be interesting. If I need flyers, I have those. If I need more mass pump, I have those. So I have at least some options for sideboarding, although cutting anything here will be painful. It feels like this is a pretty tight package that doesn't have really extra cards to cut, but I will have to find something if I absolutely need to sideboard something in that's not in the main deck. I mean, of course, if I'm gonna sideboard something in, it won't be in the main deck. Alright, so let's do these lands here. That's 9, 8. I have 15 white, 8 red. 1 red double caster and multiple white double casters, so very easy split here. Now you could maybe place 10-7, but I don't wanna be stuck with this Dominant Fury Rider, and I think 2 white mana is all I need. So let's say if I'm at 5 lands, if 2 of them are plains and 3 are mountains, I don't think that this deck suffers from that too much, so this is fine. 6-lander. Not keeping that. Well, let's keep this then. Wow. Not great draws there, but I mean not great at starting hands, but I can still hope to draw well. Okay, I have a 2-drop into 3-drop. The 2-1 is... I mean, I have a good blocker on the 2-1, but then again, they have a good blocker on my 3-drop here, so it's kind of even in that sense. But I can, you know, at least enlist that guy. This has vigilance, let's do that. So yeah, I can attack as a 4-3. And if they have something that can block it, I can maybe lightning strike it, so it's not so bad. But if they kill my Fate Ponder, now that's annoying. I might have to lightning strike this conscript, even though it's gonna come back at some later point. Alright, so that's fine. Oh, that's not a bad one to draw at all. So definitely enlist. They might double block, which allows me to use the lightning strike, get rid of the herbalist. They don't even have mana. They would require 2 mana to bring this back. They didn't have that. And now if I draw a land, oh boy, it's gonna be pretty sweet. Depending on their 4-drop, of course. Can be something that can... Well, okay. If I draw a land, it will be sweet. And all my lands enter untapped. So even though I had this pretty bad starting hand, I drew exactly what I needed here. And now I find myself wanting to draw a land. Anyway, this is pretty crazy, because now I can just attack with everything. They will block the Vanguard. But if I enlist with this guy, they'll just block that. And I have the heroic charge, so I don't need the Vanguard pump. Let's do it like this. They're taking already 6, down to 13, and then I can... well, I can even maybe get trample if I get another land, but of course a creature wouldn't be a bad draw either, or a lightning strike for that matter. And I think in this deck, with being so aggressive, triple lightning strike, being able to also target the opponent can be quite relevant in some games. Now their 1 toughness creatures aren't exactly the best blockers in here. Okay, let's do the phalanx. No need to... Well, I will be able to cast the phalanx anyway. There's no reason to... you know, give it any extra information. They block the strike team. Heroic charge it wouldn't be enough to save it. No, but no, I'm actually wrong, because this has only 2 power. Obviously I'm gonna enlist this guy. Alright, well, I don't still need to play the phalanx. Yeah, the Fate Ponder is doing some nice work. The extra point of... well, not extra point, but the 3rd point of toughness really, you know, matters here quite nicely. Okay, let's see if they have counterspell. Because they might. They also, you know, can just use the cult conscript, but that was kind of unavoidable there. I'm not gonna not attack there. They have this thing that does gain some life when they have creatures. Okay, well that's pretty much then going to be what? Well, I should definitely attack with everything. When I have a heroic charge, I shouldn't enlist, because every attacker gets the boost. So, I mean, I could enlist pre-combat, but it doesn't matter. This is the way. And unless they have a negate, I think this is gonna be a victory. But they might have a negate, of course. And then I would be in trouble, because I'm gonna lose this guy. No negate, so that should be lethal easily. Negate not the kind of card that you usually main deck. Right, so I don't mind them having all these 1 toughness creatures. They are actually pretty bad at blocking my stuff. They have multiple Mesa Cavaliers. But yeah, I don't like the Elasil core, it's very good. The Cult Conscript keeps coming back, but I guess it's fine. Maybe is some of my stuff now worse because of what I saw. I really don't like the 3-1 now that they have good blockers on it. I think I'm gonna actually cut that and play something like Take Up the Shield. Oh, Flowstone Infusion, that's an easy happy addition to the deck. Now this might also be a scenario where I in fact will cut a land, because I see that the reasoning being that I see a lot of creatures trading, and when creatures trade, games take longer, and then I will draw my lands anyway. So I think I will cut a land, and will it be a mountain or a plains? I guess I don't need most of this. Well, I do want to play my angels, of course, as soon as I can, although I might bait out removal with some other creatures. But the only thing that really needs a lot of red is the one Dominant thing. And I always will need white. Most of my stuff is white. One mountain will be enough, and if I have this in my hand and I don't draw the second one, that's a low likelihood to happen. I mean, both of those things to happen. So I might actually cut a mountain here. With 7 I should find one easily enough. So let's do it like this. I did side out a land. And also I will be on the draw, so that's going to give me the extra draw to make siding out a land a little bit more meaningful, but mostly because I foresee these trades happening and the game dragging a little longer. Especially now that the opponent saw an aggressive deck with those mass pump effects, they do want to trade with my creatures to not get a similar kind of a blowout happen. Okay, this is really good. Now I have the double white for both of these angels which I drew here, and I even drew the second mountain in case I draw my double red thing. Now I don't have anything for turn 3 yet, but I can still find a 2 or 3 mana spell with my next draw, and if I don't, I mean, it's not the end of the world. I guess I'll just trade with that thing. Okay, well, I will definitely trade with that thing. That's totally, I mean, that is fine. I mean, more than fine, because I have the Captain's Call. This is a bunch of tokens that are gonna die, and the Weatherlight completed will be quite nice then. I won't play these angels because I actually want to leave this. I mean, assuming I keep drawing lands, maybe I get to 6 lands at some point. I can play this Paragon and immediately play something from my graveyard to get value out of this, even if it gets removed. And this I want to play at 5 mana, so I can have the red kicker here. They don't block there. Does that mean they have a removal on the Fate Ponder? Because I will block the Soul Thunder. I'm not taking 3, even though the Captain's Call, you know, gives me a lot of decent blockers, but I also don't mind this cry here. It's okay. Okay, they just interestingly don't block or attack. I mean, the Cavalier isn't gonna block either. Well, I mean, I'll just attack and play my tokens, I guess. Yeah, the Soul Thunder isn't really matching up well against my deck. Temporary lockdown. Okay, now I understand. Jeez. Wow, what a card. I mean, this is a rare mass removal effect, which is usually unplayable. Okay, so all my tokens were gone. My Weatherlight is gone, Fate Ponder is gone. I mean, the only good thing is that if they don't have a counter spell, I still get to have a nice 2-for-1 here. I'm not done yet, but oh boy, was that a rough one. But now, if they can remove the Angel of Wrath, which they can. Okay, I don't actually have any enchantment removal. You know, there's the model spell, the 2-mana spell that gives a creature with toughness 4 or more higher, and then also does also you know, destroy an enchantment, which would be pretty sweet now. Okay, well, the opponent drew what they needed here. I'm still going to be in an okay shape because I can get the setup Paragon up. At some point the Cavalier will die and I get to recast it. I wouldn't mind drawing a land for that, so I can, because this might die once I pass my turn after I have played this, and I would need 7 mana to play this and the Cavalier, assuming the Cavalier is just gonna die. So it's not gonna die now. So I also don't have the 7 mana. So I have some options in here. Of course I could attack with the Cavalier, they might block with the Knight of Dawn's Light. I could use the Hero Charge, but then again they might just block with the Iria's Soul Thunder, which I guess wouldn't be the worst. But I guess I'll just do this. There's not like too much of a rush, but man, the temporary lockdown was, I mean, I was like having this weatherlight completed happening, coming up, and we're gonna be happy about that, but no, that was bad. Okay, I can't block that because they can make it into a 4 power first striker, and then I can't even trade with it. 4 power and 4 toughness. This Knight of Dawn's Light is just a good card. So they didn't pump it twice, which means they have a spell there, which means it's really annoying. Alright, so guess I'll just yeah, I mean, what's the spell they're gonna have there? If that is a counter spell, I'm gonna not like it at all. I will leave the 1/1 to block. Let's attack with both, and I mean, my hope here is that they don't deal with the Serra Paragon here. That is my hope. Now, if they're gonna block the Cavalier, I could pump there. Okay, this is now fine, and then yeah, I hope that if they have a counter spell, it's a negate specifically, just in case for the heroic charge, because now I can play the Paragon and the Vanguard. But now let's see, this is the moment of truth. If this gets countered, I will be in such a bad shape in here. That didn't happen, so now I can cast this thing. Now I have this 3 power flyer in here. Oh, they have both knights. Both knights, that is sweet. Alright, lightning strike though, that will be good. Okay, how to do it? I can play both the heroic charge and I mean, I guess I'll just because of the lightning strike, yeah, this could be a bit nasty because I don't know what's the remaining card in there, but I'm gonna attack like this, enlist this guy, some power, and then because I can, when they're gonna pump a knight there, the artillery blast in there, they have 1, 2, 3. It's gonna deal 4. Right, that's island, swamp, plains. They should say it. I mean, they have a domain 3, right? Yeah, they don't have a forest, they don't have a mountain, so this is gonna get 4 here. I can just use the charismatic vanguard in here. What the heck? It's gonna survive, right? Isn't it? Yes, it is. Now that was just fine, and then I can use the lightning strike. Well, I maybe should let them block first. No, and then use the lightning. This means I deal less damage, but maybe it doesn't matter so much. Because they're actually not having even a good blocks for these two. And now they're gonna pump the Knight of Dawn's Light, and I will also use it, because now it's not gonna be enough, and then I can do this thing here. Now this could still be bad because they can attack for they can pump the Knight of Dusk Shadow for 1, 2, 3. If they draw a land 4 times, that's 8 only, so I don't die here. And of course I have a lethal counter attack with the heroic charge here. So now it really is important that they didn't draw anything too sick in here. I can have a trample boost in here. I actually didn't check out. They got the scry from this when the creature died. I didn't actually see if they scry to top or bottom, but I guess it's... They are gonna... Okay, that's the best thing they can have. Play a land and get into... Okay, yeah. Not gonna work. Alright, so... Was it a bit rough with them having the lockdown, and then they killed my lifelinker with this thing, but then I had my third bomb here, which was enough. Or, I mean, I guess the second bomb, but third impactful play. Okay, on the play, in the previous match I got a 6-lander, now I get a 0-lander. Let's mulligan this and have something better, which this is. And I think the sleeper goes away. Because I can enlist the Steel Crusher with these guys, so it's better than a 3-1. He's basically a 5-2 with the Charismatic Vanguard. Okay. As far as non-land draws go, the Lightning Strike wasn't so bad in here, because I can cast it still. Okay, any 3-drops? Anything I can Lightning Strike so that I don't have to waste my mana? Nope, that's not the case. Okay, that was good. Land was good. I think I will play them. If they have a counter as well, it's gonna be the... I like the Cavalier, of course, more, so I'm gonna play the Vanguard. Because I'd rather this Cavalier not get countered. Because the RG Phalanx is gonna be cheaper when I get 2 creatures. But they had, sadly, even a 1/1 token there in addition to that. So if I had a 3-drop on turn 2, they actually couldn't have countered it. I think... Did they even have a tapped land there? But anyway, I could have actually... I mean, if I was able to play this, or rather the Cavalier on turn 3, they couldn't have really stayed with counter mana up, because I would have had 5 power in here. But now that I missed my land drop once, that was nasty. Okay, that's gonna draw them a card. This says, if it's legendary... Okay, but it's not. So I can try the Lightning Strike that maybe. Hopefully they're just gonna tap out here so I can do it safely. They might have the shore up, but I'm happy I drew the second land, because I might have to, you know, respond to their shore up with my own shore up, with my second Lightning Strike, which I'm gonna have to do. But I'm not gonna let them untap anymore. Yeah, that's gonna be a shore up. Okay, well, it's just not exactly ideal, because they got the token for free and they already got a counter from, sorry, a card from the combat resets. I also mulliganed to 6 here, so that was of course a not really an ideal set of plays here, and they have these, you know, high quality cards in here. So I'm of course in a big trouble because of how the game went. And a lot of that is because of me missing the, you know, the turn 3 play here. I have to attack into that thing. They might not even block here. Or if they want to have a card, it's not a bad idea to block. There's no way for me to prevent them from drawing the card from that thing. And then I can play the Cavalier and maybe the Strike Team. Well, I guess the Phalanx. I can still, you know, do some... Oh, they have another sword up, by the way. Or it could be the -1/-0 trick too. But I have those mass pump effects, so I can still, you know, if I get enough tokens, creatures, I might win. Plus I have a couple of angels that can win the game just like that. Okay, so they had this splash kicker cost for that thing, so the amount of value the opponent has gained in this game is just insane. So is this a soldier? That's a pirate? That's a cleric? Because this will, while it's in the graveyard, it will do some good stuff. Well, I'm not going to block because I can, you know, attack with this guy. Although I think they have a shore up there. Well, let's do this. Let's do this, and my plan is here not to attack with the tokens, but and I will only... Now, I could do two things. I could attack with the Cavalier enlisting a token, or I could enlist the Strike Team. I think they will have either the -1/-0 trick or a shore up. So I'm going to do it like this. Enlist the strike team. So now they have to take 5, or I don't think they have a way to trade. I mean, block in a way that would make the Frexentismary survive, but I guess we'll see. That had to happen. Now I have the Phalanx, and now I only... Okay, they have an Impulse. Okay, that's one thing they hold one up for. So I can play the Phalanx, and then if I get my mass pump effects or my, bombs, because if I get the Angel that allows me to recast all this stuff once per turn, that's of course amazing. Yeah, they have a Captain's Call with the Veteran, but now even if the Veteran dies, they can exile it from the graveyard and put a counter on these things. So not ideal. Got my own Captain's Call here, so do I want to just attack with the strike team? They just block with the token. No reason. Okay, come on. Don't want to Tapper do anything foolish like that. So now all I'm waiting for is my mass pump effects. And I can still win the game. It's kind of a board stall right now. They don't have that amazing attacks. So I have the uncommon creature. I have 2 instants with the red kicker. Yeah. And they're getting trample on these guys. If I draw one of those instants and if they don't have a counterspell, that's gonna be great. But so far I don't really want to attack with the Phalanx thanks to them having this sleeper in here. So my 1/1s don't really represent anything amazing, so I have to just wait until I draw something. Of course the opponent does get to draw stuff too, so I'm not the favorite in here, but if I draw better than they, I have a chance to win this game still. Yeah, but the start was a rough one. With all this stuff, they are not running out of cards, which is what I did here. Alright, so now they're gonna have another show up, aren't they? Because I kind of want to attack now with the Phalanx. Actually, I should attack with kind of with everything. Oh, but this is... Oh, sorry. It doesn't work. This thing can be used at instant speed and they have the 5 mana up. So I just have to... I mean, of course soon they will kill me with this thing, but even if I burn this, they can use it from the graveyard, and then this will still be, all of these are soldiers, of course, because that's what that thing affects. I mean, the pump effect in here. So, do I have any... Yeah, this Valiant, but imagine if they didn't have this specific rare in here. My board is superior to theirs because I have more creatures here and I have the 4/4. But the fact their 1/1s are 2/2s, I don't have any attacks because they're at 16, but I'm just gonna lose to the Talas Lookout in here, which they were able to get back to this kicked missionary. And I also fear they are holding some kind of interaction in their hand, so I kind of need to draw something pretty good. I do have my angels, which can be pretty good here, but they might hold also more counter magic. And yes, I know I could have killed the Lookout, but I really hate to give them a card while using my Lightning Strike for that. I guess it's time to do this, and then I have to figure out if I need to end of turn Lightning Strike something, because I might draw one of the 2 things that cost 6 with kicker cost, and then I wouldn't have the mana to also play the Lightning Strike. But it's kind of not useful to try to even kill the veteran if they have 5 mana up when they pass, which they do. So how about if I burn their face? So let's assume they have actually nothing here. If I draw +2/+1 and trample for all of my guys. Well, it's really easy math, isn't it? 6 times 3 is 18, 23, 29. +4, 33. Trample damage. They have 12 points in here. Okay, they have 12 points in here, so that's 21 left. If they have some tricks available. Okay, I mean, I have to. I'm still doing this because I have to use the lightning strike on something and using it on, you know, on the base is the best idea. So now I have blow by draw, one of the things that, you know, could at least in theory give me the victory. And it would have been a victory unless they had specifically a counter spell. But they could have held another Protector Negotiator, for instance. Alright, so what do I see here? I see here a reason to play a Flowstone Infusion. How about take up the shield? How about cutting a land again? Although I will be on the draw this time. I'm on the play, I mean. Fate Ponder. The sleepers are not that great against their decks. I'm gonna cut the sleeper. I like the Herbalist because I can enlist it. And then I'm thinking about the take up the shield. Maybe something like a joint forces, but no, against all the counters I don't want to have too many tricks. And I guess I don't want to play 16 lands either in this matchup, especially on the play when I want to curve out. So let's do this and hope to draw some of the good stuff from my deck. At least the starting hand is a little bit more acceptable now. I don't have to mulligan to 6 at least. Okay, I'm now getting this 3 start into the Phalanx, which will be a playable creature on turn 4. That's an annoying one, and I would really like to, you know, lightning strike it, but maybe I have to, because if they can short it up this guy, I'm gonna be in big trouble. All they have to do is leave 1 mana up. But then again, I have the Phalanx coming. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that because I assume they are gonna tap out here still. It's early in the game, and this way I can deploy more creatures here. Like so. Now I can simply get rid of this guy because it prevents all my attacks, and now I can just attack like this. I will enlist the Cavalier because this is, now that they're both on the battlefield, it's strictly better with the artifact removal option. I can still cast the Phalanx on the next turn. But of course I will need help from my deck. I need to draw some impactful cards, for sure. That is one of them. So let's first cast Phalanx, and then I will just, you know, offer all the trades. And then next turn I can play the Paragon and play the, you know, they're gonna double block this Crusher maybe. Or maybe not. If not, then, well, I was thinking that they will double block the Crusher, and then I can play these. And on the next turn, please, and then, you know, play this because this is only 2, and now they did that. No, that's all fine. All I need is them to not, you know, counter this thing, so I can get one value, one unit of value out of it if I can resolve this and play the Steel Crusher right away. Well, they have some good stuff too, but I have good stuff as well. Let's see if they block. I don't expect them to block. They will get cards from blue permanent spells. Okay, time to implement good stuff in here. And if they don't deal with the Paragon, I will get to play the Cavalier on the next turn. Although, does this have some reason to... No, this doesn't have like a thing that... Okay, they didn't even have a blue permanent there. They also didn't attack. Yeah, I guess they want to leave it as a blocker. Well, I get enough value out of this thing already, so let's do this. Ah, they're holding. Okay, they have a short up. Oh boy. Of course they do. Well, they could have just a manual stop or a full control, but there's no reason to risk with the Paragon in here. So I think I'm willing to throw away the Phalanx. And then I can attack with the 5 power Steel Crusher. I'm trading the Phalanx to their shore up. And I know I could have played this precon, but I don't want to give that information to them. I will be able to cast this thing even if I lose. Even if I lose both of these guys, I will have mana to cast it. And that to the shore up there. And then I play another of these guys. Okay, they make me discard that, which is fine. I'm glad I didn't play the mountain because now they actually tapped out. Oh, and I can also play lands with this thing. Forgot about that. Interesting. Anyhow, they might have another shore up, but let's say if I just attack with... No, I think I should keep the Zera Paragon here still. Because it's... They are gonna have to... 5 plus... Let's see. Enlist, attack. For the Steel Crusher, because I want the Cavalier to die instead, because it gives me another token. So I'm gonna make the Steel Crusher. And yeah, if they block the Steel Crusher, that's a 3-2 with the Phalanx. I can still, you know, recast it post-combat. So this is gonna be... Actually... Yeah. I mean, that actually changes things. Now I want to actually... then block the Cavalier. Okay, let's do it like this. Because I didn't actually realize that if I attack with a 3-2, it's not gonna be... I mean, this can just eat it. Right, so this is gonna be a 5-2. And this is gonna be a 3-2, which I can recast post-combat. And there's still the Phalanx in here, which they might also, you know, feel like. I mean, yeah, if they take the Phalanx, they do have to block the Steel Crusher. I forgot, of course, that only allows playing once. I mean, it's of course totally, you know, makes this a little bit more fair. You can't recast multiple times. I totally forgot that. You can't recast multiple. I mean, once the creature goes away, it goes. I mean, the one you recast, it goes to exile after that, and I guess I'm live. But they have to block with the lookout. I mean, I guess they will get to pick 1 out of 2. I could attack with the Steel Crusher, but they just block with the Veteran, and that's not even going to do anything, so... Okay, they have their flyer in there. They get to find some nice card. I actually should have played this precon, but they... Although I don't think they're gonna pick an SS Scatter there, but they might, so it was really not much reason to not play this. But I didn't get punished. Now they didn't get the Figment, so they got something better than at least it wasn't a land. They got some spell from there. And then I will... So this will give trample to red creatures, right? I mean, if they get the flyer, they actually don't have a... Man, but they are... they are doing some... Because getting some good stuff there. If they get the flyer though, they don't have mana to cast it unless they have a land in their hand. Do they have any other flyer that is cheaper? No, they don't. But the problem is that this is a life linker, so they are effectively at 6 if I attack with my ground guys. And if I don't attack with the Fury Rider, I don't get the pump effect here. Okay, so they took this, not the flyer. Maybe I can just throw a pump effect or a lightning strike to finish this off. Any reason to double block that now? I mean, I can jump now. I can take 5 here. Come on. No help from the deck, so... I don't think this is enough. All other creatures will get +1/+1. Other red attacking creatures gain trample. White creatures will be untapped. So if I just attack with the Paragon in here, they go to 1. If I attack with everything, they are effectively at 6. So they go to 3 in the because of the they go to 2 because of the Paragon. But they can block, and they have to block with this thing. But they can block. I mean, they can just eat the Fury Rider. I might have also they might have a lethal attack. Although the 1/1, no, I don't know. This is 2/2. 4/3 is no. The missionary blocks the 2/2. This is gonna be blocked by the 4/3. This is gonna be blocked by the 5/5. So attacking with the Fury Rider isn't actually doing anything. I needed some spell there. Yeah, this. I mean, they have 2 good blockers there. I have to do it just like this and hope that they don't draw anything. Although they can pump the missionary, but if they attack with the missionary, that it's gonna be tapped. So they can gain 3 life here because they can pump and attack with the missionary. But okay, well, I guess I needed to draw a little bit better than them, and they did draw better here. So now it's very easy. Yeah. Now their deck is of course amazing. I mean, they have all this good stuff, but I didn't need a lot in there. Okay, they don't attack with the missionary here. I guess because they of course don't have the pump here available. Well, I'm just thinking if I should jump block in here, but I mean I can always. Well, I guess I'm gonna jump block now. It doesn't have trample, so let's do this. Also, if this dies again, some life here. This is any target. Okay. I actually got the win here now. But it required both my angels. And this is of course game 2 and after I lost game 1, so the match is not over, but of course you have to win 1 game before you can dream about winning the match. But yeah, this deck they have is really, really good. How do I battle against such? I kind of feel like I need a 3rd heroic charge. I'll take it. And maybe it's time to cut a land too. It seemed like a matchup again which will go a little late. And I'm gonna cut a mountain instead of the plains. Now I still think about to take up the shield here. Is that something I wanna do? They don't have like a lot of interaction that affects my creatures, but it's still good in combat situations. Gain some life, win races. But is there some bad card I want to, cut here? Because there's no more bad cards anymore. Okay, I'm gonna just use the same. I mean, I took the 3rd heroic charge and cut a land. Now I'm also on the draw, so I will have an extra draw to draw the lands. Try to keep a good mana curve. Okay, let's have a good starting hand, because I will need good stuff against that opponent. They have a really, really good deck with great great cards, multiple of them. Alright, so I have something going on here. I have a Weatherlight completed with the Captain's Call. I have the Phalanx with the Captain's Call. But this hand doesn't do anything. This has to draw both lands and, relevant plays. If I just draw some creatures, I won't be able to play the Captain's Call until it's too late. If I draw just lands, my first impactful play is on turn 4 and they might even counter it. I also have my double red thing without any mountains, so it has to be a natural mulligan. Wow. Well, the thing here is that I need 1 mountain for the strike team anyway. I'm not willing to cut any of that, so I'm gonna just cut the land, and I'm gonna accept that if I'm gonna get bad starting hands, even after mulliganing, then I'm just not supposed to win this match, because I mean I can't just go to 5. Because this hand, you know, has some chance. For example, if I draw a land now, I can play the Cavalier, which gives me a blocker for the sleeper, and then this starts picking up things. But if I don't draw a land or a white 2-drop, this can be... oh yeah. I'll just lose because they have the combat resets going on. Oh boy. Yeah, I know I did cut a land, but I think it wasn't the wrong decision here. I also didn't know I'm gonna draw these Cavaliers in here. I mean, if I had a Cavalier in the starting hand. Because I drew both of these, didn't I? Because my hand after reaching the planes was 2 planes, 2 hero charges, Captain's Call and Strike Team, and I wanted to keep both of these. This is usually the kind of card you can cut from your starting hand if you have mulligan, but in this matchup I felt like I needed this kind of an effect. I mean, I'm not gonna concede because I often concede a little bit too early, but I'm not gonna beat all this stuff because they keep drawing cards. They're dealing at least 5 to me, and my one Archivian Cavalier isn't even gonna block the Night Dawn's Light. And I mean, they would have to have like only what 5 lands in their hand and nothing else. Like, it's possible, but yeah, now I can concede. Now there's no way I can beat them. Sadly, a non-game in the game 3. This was an interesting matchup, and if my deck would have drawn like normally there, it would have been an interesting to see how this match proceeds. But now there was nothing. I just can't draw proper land starting hands. Why is this like this? But this is like okay because I can play both of these, and the problem is if I keep drawing lands in there, this is gonna be horrible. But at least the opponent did mulligan to 6, so maybe they don't have the nuts here. It's also really deck dependent whether these 3-1s and 2-1s are gonna be anything good here. Okay, now I get to curve out, and I think I'll play the Herbalist because I want to have it right away available for enlisting this thing. And also, if they don't have a 2-drop, I'd rather scry than deal an extra point of damage. So this is fine now. Now I can scry any land away. Steel Crusher? It's actually not so bad, I can keep it. Now I hope they don't have a counter spell. So much of the enlisting, but although I can enlist with the Steel Crusher too. Well, let's see. Okay, that's something I can probably keep out. Right, so first I play this. Okay, now that they were thinking about it, do you know what I'm afraid of? Them having the Kicker counterspell. You know, the uncommon one. Because now if I... and that says create a token if it got kicked, they can have the mana to kick it, and then counter a spell unless the opponent plays 1 generic mana for every creature they have. So if I tap out for this Steel Crusher right now, they can not only counter it, which isn't the hard tough part, but if they have that, which I assume they have, they get a 1/1, which is such an amazing card against all this. I'm actually not going to play into that, and I hope they didn't have like an impulse or anything. So I'm sure now they have the, is it like Project Negotiator or something like that. Anyhow, now I can do a bunch of things. But I think the best thing to do is just kick this guy and keep dealing damage. That's gonna be a fine goal. I can play 2 creatures on the next turn. But I assume they have the counterspell. Okay, there's also Captain's Call, which means that I'm going to attack with... I think I might attack with the Herbalist. Although I do have the... I have no plans to use this activated ability, although the threat of activation is often enough. So I'm gonna attack with these. Yeah, that's for sure. But Herbalist. Okay, I'm gonna attack. I get the Scry at least. Lightning Strike is fine. I do have the Serra Paragon here. They actually don't want to trade with the tokens, which is, I think, good for me. So now I can do this and the Steel Crusher. And I know there's the Paragon, which has castable creatures in here, but there's no rush with that thing. The bounce spell there, no life gain this time, so they have, yeah, they have a play, nothing amazing there. Okay, so what I can do now is just, yeah, Lightning Strike this guy away, and attack Enlist here, and attack with these guys, Enlist this, so at least make them not block with both tokens if they want to kill the Steel Crusher here, which is... They just jump block. That is really interesting. Why would they just jump block? Putting the other there is gonna trade with it. So they have a reason to leave with 1/1 here. I guess I'll find out what's that gonna be. They can play the counterspell, which I'm sure they have without kicking it, allowing them to tax me for 2. So I could play like the Keldons Track team unkicked, but there's no reason to do that. I can just use my Charismatic Vanguard here. So let's now attack this. Enlist one of these guys. I guess I could have attacked with the 1/1 too. So is it too late now? Yeah, I think it's too late. I confirmed the attacks. Yeah, because I mean, if they're gonna block, yeah, I should have done that because they are not gonna block this 1/1 with the Kennerud. So that was a mistake, but I think I'm still in a decent shape, so probably not like a critical mistake or anything. Okay, I'm willing to save my strike team. Let's just activate this and see what happens. They are having another spell too, so I guess they have timely interference there, which is, yeah, not doing much. They get the 1 token from this thing. I still think they have the counter spell, but... Okay, Weatherlight completed. Yeah, let's do it. They get the token from there. I mean, if they use the counterspell, they get a token, and they have more blockers. But I guess it's fine because then, okay, they didn't have it, so maybe I played around a non-existing thing probably. I mean, because they would have had a stop there at least, so I did play around a non-existing thing. But oh well. Now I have a decision. No, I'm not going to play this unkicked. I'm not gonna do that. But am I gonna allow them to... Yeah, I'm gonna allow them to trade with their strike team now. I get to scry from the Weatherlight here. Of course I have this hasty strike coming up. I have that too. And I play this if they have like a removal effect. No, now they... Okay, they had an SS scatter. Ah, that's what they were holding. Sure. Okay, so it wasn't the protecting negotiators, it was the SS scatter they were holding. I could actually whiff this thing, prevent the card draw them by killing my Witherlight completely, but I don't think that's really necessary here because I have multiple ways to get, you know, I already have lethal here and the strike team, so I'm gonna just contribute more to that. So let's just do this now, kick this and see. I mean, if I wanna see actually how many counter spells they're running. So if they did counter now, I want to learn, because I already have seen 2 essence scatters. Always a bit tricky to play against these blue decks. This is also some good stuff I'm seeing here. Sadly, this is not the greatest build around thing. Maybe it could have like an extra point of toughness. Could this even cost like 4 mana? Maybe not. Maybe that's too much because free tokens are quite valuable. But it's still, of course, is a totally playable card in a blue-white deck. It's just not like a super efficient creature. They have a Captain's Call making my, and of course this way to make 1/1s. They have a couple of these timely interferences, couple of SS scatters. So what I'm thinking about here again is that my sleeper isn't gonna be good. The herbalist can still be enlisted, so that's fine. So what am I going to play here? I maybe even could play the Sky Knight, but then again they do have the Soaring Drake, which will be able to trade with it. I don't want to trade with a 3 mana creature when I have a 4 mana creature myself. I could play just another Heroic Charge, but I guess the Flowstone Infusion is kind of a safer way to do things. I didn't really see much, but I mean, this is a blue-white. They're gonna have to have 1 or 2 toughness creatures, right? On the draw, I won't be playing the Heroic Charge. Maybe on the play, if I lose this game, I might do that, but let's see. This time I also didn't cut a land because I felt it was unnecessary now. Okay, is this a... Well, it's a starting hand I'm gonna keep, but it's also a starting hand that requires the 3rd land at some point. At least that route immediately, so now I can have a... I can have now a 7 card starting hand. Are they gonna play any targets for my lightning strikes? Yes, the perfect one. And then I can just play my Cavalier, I think. Okay, they have no interest in playing cards, so let's feed some... What is the thing I want to feed to an SS scatter here? I'm gonna play... Okay, they have an impulse right now, sure. I do like the Vanguard here, but I have a Heroic Charge too, so it's kind of here. The Cavalier is better than the Vanguard this early, but this will be better later on. Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense to play the Cavalier now, so I can have this for later play. And who knows, maybe they don't have an SS Cavalier. Yeah, right. Well, I have more guys coming with the strike team. Okay, perfect. Exactly perfect. And I am just attack with everything. They can trade with the, you know, wider of my non-token creatures. So this is how this deck is supposed to work. It was a shame that the previous match against, which was also a blue-white deck, I didn't really get to, you know, do the game plan. Alright, so this guy needs to go, right? How to do it? I'm gonna play the Herbalist first, let's see if they plan. No, nothing. I'm gonna not let them untap. And that worked, good. Now of course the Vanguard would have been better than the Herbalist, but I wanted to see if they actually have another counter magic. Now I know they don't, because they didn't have even a stop there. So now it's good to go. They still don't do anything. Well, I need to at least scry and deal some damage, and of course I have the hero charge. That's unnecessary. Prayer of Pine. Yeah, they can play a 4-mana removal on any of these guys. Can't say it's gonna matter too much. This should be a victory, right? That's 8 plus whatever these are dealing 5, so this is 13. I think it's 13. They got -1. Alright. So that was now a better showcase how this archetype works. Of course it really depends on what kind of a deck your opponent plays. A green-based domain deck has a lot more good, you know, big blockers, and it's not so easy to put these attacks in. But of course these blue-white decks that try to play on my turn and all that, it's a little different. Actually, I quite like the matchup against blue-white with this Boros deck. But it would have been interesting to also play against some green deck. But anyway, I did salvage the event by winning the 3rd match after the bit unfortunate game 3 loss in the... I mean, I was of course still... I'm not saying I was going to win the 2nd match if I got a good draw in the 3rd game, because of course the opponent had a really good deck there, but I at least would have wanted to have a fighting chance by somewhat of a normal starting hand and first couple of turns. Right, so heroic charge, pretty good. Strike team, pretty good. And well, I was able to play both my bomb angels here, so that was good too. I sadly didn't get to use the one game when I get to cast this on turn 2, and it could have turned into a creature, was the one where the opponent actually had the mass removal effect. That exiled my board and this thing too. Alright, but that's about it. This was now a Boros deck. I don't know if I have actually showcased this particular archetype in these drafts, at least not many times. So something different for the videos too. And I will see you in the next video then. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.